What is your ideal? We'll start with you first, and then we'll go to you, and then we'll flip it again.
Okay.
What is your ideal type of woman? Like ideally, what you would look for when you're out here looking, ready to mingle. What's your ideal type of woman? And then for you, what would be your ideal type of man?
Well, smart, right? Book
Mm-hmm.
smart, right? Has to have traditional values. Most of all, I think I'm real big on that. And I think a lot of people get that mixed up on what traditional values may mean. To me, it's just honor, respect your husband, and vice versa. Of course, it's not always one sided. It has to be both parties, right? And just open minded as well. Not in the sense of like I think nowadays they have like those relationships, like open relationships, right? But open minded to you know new ideas and like I guess like I don't know how I could put this, but like supporting one another most of all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Real quick, I don't know. I don't. I mean, I guess you would call it an open relationship. For me personally,
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it an open relationship, because the open relationship is like the man and the woman. They're both together, but they're open to having sex with other people. To me,
Yeah,
that's really not an open relationship. That's kind of like we just doing our own thing, but we are our main people that we would rather do it with, but we can still go do whatever we want.
Right.
So I mean that maybe the open discussion. I mean open discussion. The open relationship thing gets a little misconstrued with that, but I don't know. That's just my perspective
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah.
What would you say is your ideal type of man that you would go for?
Kind of like Adrian said, I kind of want more like a traditional man because I'm getting a lot of men that I am currently trying to like get to know. They're not really trying to get to know you nowadays. Like I like the old versions how we used to, get to know one another, like go out on dates and actually like communicate and not just go straight to sex. And I just don't like that anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no point of it. It's a lot of dead ends and I'm just kind of like over it. But of course respectful. And a lot of people nowadays have kids. So you have to be open minded about dating somebody with a child. Like,
That's right.
you're not just dating that person. You also have to be like, okay, this person has a kid in the future. I'm not saying now, like maybe a month or two from now, maybe a year. But in the future, if you do have a good connection with this person, will you be able to, be a family with the other
Individual.
person's kid? And that's really what I'm looking for. But, the dating world is so different now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't get a lot
That's
of honesty, and they tell you what you want to hear.
Instead of what you need to hear.
Exactly. And I'm very open with like, hey, if you just want to like mess around or whatever, give me that decision.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
and we're grown. We're grown. And if you want to be like, you know what? Yeah, like sure, we'll have a one night stand or whatever and then move on. But me personally, I don't want that anymore. I really, really want to connect with somebody and do it the genuine way.
Yeah.
And the traditional way, the way that it needs to be.
The way where a man would court a woman and do all that before
Exactly.
getting to that
I
point.
want to go to a nice date. I want to get ready. I want to get those butterflies and be like, he's going to come and pick me up. We're going to go to dinner and then he's going to drop me off back home and that's it. And then, we're going to text and stuff like that. But nowadays, it's totally different. The dating world is different.
Almost to a point where you go on the date with no expectations.
Yes.
Because a lot of guys and girls maybe will go on a date and the guy's thinking, oh, I'm taking her out. So the expectation is I'm probably going to go back home and I'm going to get
Yes.
laid tonight, right? That's the expectation. But going on the date with no expectations of, hey, I'm just trying to have a good time. If we connect, cool, we'll maybe go on a second date. And then
Yes.
we'll play on the ear after that.
Yeah, right.
So let me ask you guys this, because y'all both would like traditional ways. So we'll start with you on this and we'll go to you after. When's the last time you were on a date, and how was that first date?
Honestly, like a real date, it's probably been a good 2 years.
2 years? There's no way.
Yes,
There's no
it
way.
has.
A real
Because
date.
a
I
real
get what
date.
you're saying.
A
Like
real
exactly
date?
how I explained it right now. A real date. That I got picked up, I got taken to dinner, a nice fancy dinner. I actually got dressed up and then I got brought back home at a decent time.
Well, here, okay, wait. Would you consider a date a guy saying, "Hey, let me pick you up at 5 p.m. when you get off work, and we just go grab some coffee."
Yes.
So that's a date. So
that's
you're
a
saying
date
a
for
guy
me.
has not done that in 2
No.
years, and that's like a bare minimum
No.
date where it's just like, "Hey, we're getting coffee."
No, everything
I
is
wanna
like
feel it
it's
out.
like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Let's go let's go like to this after hours and stuff like that. And I'm like, dude, I'm like so over it. Like
Yeah.
I'm tired. I want to go home. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I do go out every once in a while, but I don't want to do that anymore. Like
Yeah.
it gets boring. Like it's so many dead ends, and I just want more.
Yeah. When do you think that your mindset changed a little bit on when you were like, this is boring now. I actually want to settle down a little bit. When, because you said you're 26. Was that like 2 years ago, 1 year ago, 6 months ago?
Yeah, like for me to like actually be like, okay, I'm over it.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably like a good not that long ago, maybe like 4 months ago.
Okay, so
That I was
this
just
year.
kind of like, yeah, like I'm kind of over it. You know what I'm saying? Like I want something different, and I'm just kind of tired of like just meeting guys at the clubs or at the bar. And don't get me wrong, it's a nice conversation and everything, and it's nice at the moment, but there's really nothing more to that, you know?